Hello, chat teachers and students. We may have met before, we may have not. My name is Adam McKim. I am the Executive Director of Chat to the Future, an organization that seeks to engage students with empathy and technology to develop global citizens and social entrepreneurs. Usually, I send an email to your teachers. I may record a speech from time to time. Today, it seemed we had a lot to say, so I've got a whole bunch of things here. I've practiced a bit, and I wanted to fill you in, I guess, on some of the exciting things that are happening with us in the future and right now. So first, you may have read in the news a couple of things about our future piece. Our wonderful partners at Martel Homes, home builders out of Moncton, New Brunswick, Acre Architects, who are designing the new chat house. We don't own the house that the kids live in now. It's a rental. And the new house is going to have these great things like drawers for the possessions our kids have, and a whole bunch of other neat pieces. We're going to be operating a community center out of the new house, so things like little loans for moms in the community or school fees so more kids in that area can go to school. We're looking at a computer lab and someday maybe even clean water so that our kids don't need to spend an hour or two a day fetching water. All these things, very exciting. It's our future, and I wanted to open a bit with that. You may have seen some videos about us. Our good friends over at Hemmings House have on their own dime, with their own time and talent, have made some great videos you may have seen. Our website. You may have heard about our social entrepreneurship program, which is funded by the New Brunswick government. You may have even seen that Captain America was involved with us for one video. That's all our awareness piece, getting the message out, because there are so many great things that we want people to know about the world. I teach world issues here at St. John High School, and it's one of my favorite things to teach is that the world is a lot better than some people think. I think I'll actually take this opportunity to tell you my favorite story about the world. Are you ready? Because this is my favorite story about the world. I'm going to take you back to the year 1990, before your time, not before mine. It was a year that saw almost half the world, 43%, suffering from something called extreme poverty. It's a kind of poverty that doesn't exist in North America, because it's the kind of poverty that sees a lot of kids being hungry and having no place to get food, or if they're sick, they can't go to a hospital to get better. So it was pretty bad. And then in the year 2000, the United Nations, this team of countries, got together and said, let's set a goal. Let's cut that number in half by the year 2015. That year will sound familiar. That year is now. And a lot of experts back in 2000 said, well, that goal is too ambitious. We can't possibly see that achieved so soon. Well, they hit that goal 5 years ago. Now the number is creeping down closer to 10% of the world. It's this incredible success story, and not enough people know about it. So one of the things Chat to the Future is trying to do is to spread that good news about the world, because good news can motivate people. It's one of the reasons we do work with social entrepreneurship, which basically means getting the message out there that when businesses try to do good for the world, they actually end up making more profit a lot of the time. So with so many businesses and volunteers and citizens and governments working together, we want to be just a tiny, tiny part of this incredible story. I think this goal that the United Nations just set to wipe extreme poverty off the planet by the year 2030 is going to be the greatest accomplishment in human history. And by being on the Chat to the Future team, as all of you are, you're playing a small part in that, an important part. And I want to thank you for that today. So that's my favorite story. I've covered a little bit of our future stuff, which your teacher will know more about. our awareness piece, the videos we make, and the websites that we operate. But I wanted to focus most of the time today on you guys. You creative, singing, wonderful students, and your hardworking teachers, because you are our origin story for this organization. You are at the core of this work, and it's what you are doing that is an absolute necessity for us to continue, because your link to our children in Uganda is incredible. And the Skype sessions that unite you, still so unique and still so much fun. I never get tired of seeing our young friends on the other side of the globe. And if you've not yet had the experience, I know it is coming for you, because that is another central component of being on this team. The Skype sessions are, at their heart, they're just plain fun. You know, it's a chance to break down barriers between cultures, to break down some of the myths that exist, to get to know people that you otherwise wouldn't have had a chance to get to know, and all the while having a good time. You know, teachers sometimes ask me, you know, what are some things we can do during the Skype sessions? And the norm is, you know, to practice a song, you know, to sing back and forth, to ask some questions, and believe me, they'll ask you questions too. I think my favorite is show and tell. It was my favorite when I was a student back in elementary school, and it's still my favorite today. We've had schools build snowmen outside with a tablet. We've had them show off their judo chop skills or their ballet skills. I'm not going to show you my ballet skills, but the judo chop. One of my favorites, camera close-ups. If you've never tried these, the kids always laugh like crazy. This is what a camera close-up looks like. Chewy. Yeah, it works with anything. Spider-Man, my personal favorite. With great power comes great responsibility. It's one of the things I teach in class too. We've got some new things this year. I know, I'm silly. We've got some new things this year with the Skype sessions that I'd love for you guys to try out. The first is something called Screen Share. With Skype, we can actually show the kids exactly what we see on our screen. So if you have a favorite YouTube video, you know, we could show them snowboarding in Banff. We could show them the Harlem Globetrotters. We can show them a favorite music video or a really inspiring commercial. So many different things that you could pick as a class and say, hey, I want my friends in Uganda to see this great video. Or maybe even a video of you guys doing something amazing. You take the video and then you can share the screen with them. So we've sent a link to your teachers to show them how to do that. Another thing you might want to ask for this year is a walk around the Chat House compound. They'll show you around inside the house, outside the house. They'll take you over to the chickens. We're expecting those Christmas chickens from last year. We fundraised at Christmas, and we got the chicks, tiny little ones. Maybe you've seen the video, in July. And I Skyped with them the other day. The chickens are all grown up, and the first chickens to lay eggs. We're going to see that apparently in January. Obviously, the Q&A is always a great way to learn about each other. Just think up some questions. Ask them. You know, they're just like you in so many ways. Working hard. I hope you're working hard. Going to school every day. I hope you're going to school every day. And we see their home reports, and you will too. It's one of the ways we make sure that they're working hard too. Okay. As for the Skype sessions, we just emailed your teachers the schedule for November and December. My favorite time of the year to do Skype sessions because of the Christmas carols. Singing Christmas songs back and forth, always so much fun. The first Skype session we ever had from my classroom just right over there, we weren't really ready for it. We sang "Oh Canada," and we sang "Happy Birthday." Nowadays, students are far more prepared for the Skype session, so get your Christmas singing in order. It's funny, the kids in Uganda, 2 years ago, I taught them the 12 days of Canadian Christmas. I don't know if you've heard it before. 5 Stanley Cups. They sang that song last week to one of our schools in the United States, in Colorado. And I think it confused everybody. I don't know why they were singing a Christmas song, and they didn't recognize it as the Canadian 12 Days of Christmas. You'll probably know that our kids in Uganda, they Skype 3 hours per week. That's the total. They're very busy. They don't get home from school until after 5 o'clock their time. And it gets dark at 7 o'clock every night, all year round. You may know why. I'm going to pause, and then somebody's going to raise their hand and answer to the teacher. Here's the pause. Did you get it? Why at 7 p.m. all year round? Because they're right in the middle of the world. They're on the equator. So sun up, sun down, 7 o'clock every day. So we make sure the Skype sessions are done by them. And for November and December, that means the Skype times are at 11 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. Atlantic time, which is 1 hour ahead of Eastern time. Right. Fundraising. You know this is a component of being on the chat team. We've always set the target at $300, and we're so appreciative that year after year schools continue to hit that target. And in fact, last year, closer to the $700 range for the average, which is a good thing because traditionally the $300 has been to match up with one need for one child. For example, paying the school fees for Ben for 1 year, or Zion's share of the rent for 6 months. It's always been around $300, but the costs continue to go up in Uganda, and the Canadian dollar has not done so well. So having people raise a little extra and having schools that aren't matched up with a specific child has always helped with that. We've also managed to build a bit of a savings. We have enough funds in that savings account to cover the needs of our children for more than 6 months. And since that hasn't always been the case, I can say to you that the volunteers on the chat team, we sleep a lot easier knowing that we've got some money tucked away. And we have money tucked away for our future plans, which I discussed at the start. So we cannot thank you enough for the efforts you put in, whether it's something as simple as a hat day or a popcorn day, or running a full market based on your entrepreneurship learnings, where you develop products and sell them, often at a Christmas market. Either way, we just appreciate your efforts, and it's always neat year after year to see you be creative with that, and to include us by sharing the videos, sharing the photos, sharing the stories. We want to hear from you. We want to celebrate you. We have a lot of followers and fans on social media, and we just love to show off your work. And we love to show off your teachers, actually, because, as I said, they're so hardworking. And for them to give of their time to this project year after year, it means the world. So thank you for that as well. You should know, you should be reminded, 100% of the money raised by your school has been or will be spent in Uganda. Our social entrepreneurship work, our mentor, all of that is funded by a government grant we received in order to develop these entrepreneurial skills at the K-12 level. The money you raise, again, is completely spent in Uganda, and we are continuing with that promise. A couple of other fun things at this time of year to remember. We love sending Christmas cards, and they love receiving Christmas cards. They're always blown away with how many people on the other side of the world are interested in their lives, and they like that, and they respond to Christmas cards. Not all of them, but they like to do that too. So if you'd like to participate in that, please get us Christmas cards to St. John High School. I'll include the address before November the 13th. That gives you a couple weeks to think up what you might like to say. It takes about a month to send over some mail, and they would really appreciate that. All right, from my notes. Anything else? No, I think that's it. Book that Skype session. For our kids, it's like their version of television. And I've seen them Skype many times, and they just light up. They really enjoy it, and I know you will too. So hopefully you can book that soon. If you would like to talk with me, if you want to do some Q&A to ask questions with myself or perhaps our Deputy Executive Director, Kathy Hunter, we love to do that too. We've been there. We've met these kids. We know how incredible they are. We know the life they led before you guys came into their life. And we know where they're headed. They're headed to university, if that's what they like. They're headed to a training program to become a welder or a driver, whatever they want to be. And we want that for you guys too. And anything we can all do to help with that, to stay motivated and focused and reminded that we need to work hard, as our friends do in Uganda, we're here to do those things. And it's just our absolute pleasure. That's off the script, but it's extremely true. So again, thank you so much. We'll talk soon, hopefully with a few of you in person. Enjoy your Skype sessions, and please, anything that you need, anytime, send us a message. Our team is here to help. Okay, bye.